Kim Kardashian, Floyd Mayweather, and some other celebrities are being sued in a class action lawsuit for promoting EthereumMax. The complaint says the influencers caused investors to purchase losing investments at inflated prices. So I think we spoke about it on the show, and it's so funny, David, because you were on the show when we spoke about it. So it's great to have you back for this story. When Kim posted on her Instagram stories, shilling EthereumMax, and she used the hashtag ad. And at that time we said, oh, maybe this is going to be okay because she's told her followers that this is an advertisement. And we'll wait and see how this pans out. Now we have this class action lawsuit against Kim and Floyd and other people who promoted EthereumMax on social media. I know you've been following this. What do you think when you read about this class action lawsuit? Doesn't have legs.
Yeah. So the first thing to be very clear about here is that this is a civil action. This is not a regulatory action. The regulatory action, if it comes, will be down the road when you have the SEC come after them for touting or whatever it is. And in that case, it seems more likely that the fact that she put a little 3-letter hashtag AD ad might protect her a little bit more. The civil trial is going to have perhaps looser standards for evidence. Just to provide some background that is easy to drop out here, Kim Kardashian charges on the order of like $200,000 to $300,000 just for
it's up to $1 million
post to her. For her stories, right? You get an actual Instagram post, that's going to be $1 million or more. But just the stories that are kind of ephemeral, those are like $200,000, $300,000 somewhere in there. And the person or persons who what we know about the people behind EthereumMax, it doesn't necessarily suggest that they actually had the liquidity to pay that upfront. And so one of the big questions here for me is whether it was actually an ad or whether maybe it was something that she did as a favor for a friend, and then she put that hashtag ad up there as some sort of post facto protection. So hopefully discovery of the civil trial is going to try and determine whether there was an actual payment made to her for an ad. Because based on what I have seen in terms of her relationship with the actual founders of this project, there may be some reason to believe that there is something that in some way resembles a criminal conspiracy happening here. And I'm phrasing that very carefully, but it is something
I wasn't expecting this to come out in this segment.
Yeah. So basically the question is, was this an actual ad, or was this something that Kim Kardashian framed as an ad as a way to cover up something else? So that's what's on my mind right now. But I saw Naomi's hand go up.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts about this. So first of all, I think it's really dumb for people to be suing someone because they bought a token that went down. You know, you all should be doing more research and not buying things, and tokens go up and down. And these are things that are, publicly tradable on free markets, and the price goes up and down according to rules of supply and demand. So it's really dumb to sue someone because you lost money and you're like, you should make up the difference because I bought at a certain price that went. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. So I'll just say that. And I think this whole idea of like demonizing monetization, like someone, if they're paid for something, like it's this bad thing. And like, it's, I really dislike that whole narrative. I think it's totally fine for people to be paid to promote things. People do it all the time. You see all these ads for skincare products. You really think that those actresses are using that skincare product, but they're still advertising it. That's literally their job description. That's how they make their money. On the other side of things, I do think it is completely ethically reprehensible for people like Kim Kardashian to be out there pumping these things that they know their audience doesn't quite understand, and that they could lose money in. I think it's really bad when people do that, and you should stop doing that because you're hurting a lot of people. But it's just a question of like, is this a situation for the government to come in and like start suing people and say like, you advertise this thing? I don't think it is. I think that it's ethically bad and people should be shamed for pumping bad projects or whatnot. And I don't think that people should have the right when they buy a bad product to then come back and say, well, Kim Kardashian told me that it was a great product and she's the arbiter of truth. And I really trust her opinion because she's such a crypto expert. Like, no, Kim Kardashian was never a crypto expert. And if you bought this token on her word, then you're an idiot and you don't deserve to get into money in a lawsuit. So, I mean, just my two Satoshis there. Things like this kind of bother bother me. Like I don't do paid promotions on my channel, but I definitely don't hold it against anyone who does, because it's the way that people can make money and actually create content that's sustainable. Some people only choose products that they themselves specifically use, but they just happen to get paid for it. I think that's fine, each to their own. I think that it's on the individual to be doing research into all of this stuff, digging in a little bit deeper. And it's on the content creators to not be scumbags and to be choosing projects that they actually think are worthwhile and not be misleading their audience, because their audience puts a lot of trust in them. So I think it's a two-way street there. But I'll throw it back to the group.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. I wanted to clarify one thing real quick, which is that Kim Kardashian is named in this lawsuit. So are Floyd Mayweather and Paul Pierce. And at least in my memory of the post that happened at the time, Mayweather and Pierce did not clarify that they were doing a paid promotion. That's one of the key things here. So if you don't say you're doing a paid promotion, what your audience is going to assume is that this is something you actually believe in, and that you're giving it a personal endorsement based on your own expertise. And so that's a different level of danger than even a little hashtag ad. I think goes a long way versus nothing at all. And Jen, you maybe want to wrap us up, or?
I know we have to wrap up, but I just want to say quickly, the hashtag ad, I believe, I stand to be corrected, the hashtag ad rule was born out of the Fire Festival debacle. And so it will be interesting to see how they debate this hashtag ad when it relates to crypto projects, because it was born to, let people know this is a paid advertisement and do your own research, as the people who attended Fire Festival learned the hard way.